How dating apps affect our brains, behavior, and interpersonal interactions. Online dating and dating apps are here to stay. 72% of millennials have used dating apps, and 1/3 of all marriages in the United States now begin online. 72% of millennials have used dating apps, and 1/3 of all marriages in the United States now begin online, according to a study published in the National Academy of Sciences. Tinder is used by more than 50 million people globally. However, we all know that dating apps aren't always successful. While 72% of my age group admits to using dating apps, Hinge claims that only 1 out of every 500 swipes results in a phone number exchange. So why do we continue to use dating apps if they rarely result in real-life encounters? What makes us want to come back for more? How does this work? Let's break it down to 5 points how it affects our psychology. 1. How much is a lot? Badoo surveyed its 370 million users and discovered that they spend an average of 90 minutes per day online dating. Badoo discovered that most people logged in throughout the day, with users spending an average of 9 minutes per session on the app. The average time is 90 minutes. Some people spend significantly less time online than others, but all of our time spent using these services is affecting our brains because we are adaptive creatures that respond to our surroundings. But what exactly are dating apps doing to us? 2. What dating apps do to your brain? Many of the chemicals that fire in our brain when we use dating apps are caused by the app's gamification of relationships. Gamification is defined as the application of gaming mechanics to non-gaming environments in order to make difficult tasks more bearable. Engineering for growth. Dating apps become addictive due to neurochemical changes in our bodies. According to Dr. Lauren Serro, playing games on your phone releases endorphins, your body's endogenous painkiller. This can either reduce your anxiety, which is great, or it can cause you to feel high. When you match with someone on Hinge, Coffee Meets Bagel, or Bumble, your brain is flooded with adrenaline because you feel as if you've won something. This is done on purpose. After all, unpredictable rewards stimulate more activity in reward regions of the brain than predictable rewards. Tinder co-founder Jonathan Badeen says in HBO new documentary Swiped, hooking up in the digital age that having unpredictable, yet frequent awards is the best way to motivate somebody to keep moving forward. When you use dating apps, you're dealing with very primitive, illogical structures. This is why people will sit and do it again and again. It is not about a rational desire to be in a relationship. Dr. David Greenfield, Center for Internet Research. The neurochemical dopamine, as well as its partner serotonin, is released when dating apps are gamified. Dopamine enters your system in one of 2 ways when using dating apps. You receive an unexpected reward, and your brain responds by releasing a healthy dose of adrenaline and dopamine. Your brain adapts to the unpredictable reward system by rewarding you for anticipating risk. Essentially, your brain creates a feedback loop. Once you become accustomed to the neurological release, your brain learns to anticipate and reward your exposure to the source of that release. According to Nathalie Nahai, this is known as a dopamine loop. It's a sense of reward and seeking more of the same in order to get an arousal hit. Our brains crave positive emotions. 3. The downside of reward feedback loops. While neurochemical reward systems can produce excitement and short-term pleasure, they can also result in addiction, burnout, and feelings of loneliness and isolation. Individuals with a high level of loneliness or social anxiety had a higher link of preference for online social engagement with compulsive dating app use, according to Dr. Catherine Cajuto. Use of dating apps on a regular or habitual basis. This, in turn, may explain the negative results, such as the usage of dating apps in professional settings or the preference for dating apps over face-to-face encounters, Dr. Cajuto adds. to make matters worse, researchers at the University of North Texas discovered that men who use Tinder have lower self-esteem than men who do not use the dating app. Regardless of gender, Tinder users reported less psychosocial well-being and more indicators of body dissatisfaction than non-users, the researchers discovered. All of this comes with a price. 1 in every 6 singles, 15%, admits to being addicted to the process of looking for a date. Men have it worse. They are 97% more likely than women to be addicted to dating, but women are 54% more likely to be burned out by the whole thing. For the rise of ghosting. When we consider the psychology of dating apps, we must consider the social implications, as well as how it affects cultural interactions. Consider ghosting, which occurs when a person withdraws from a person's life and ignores their attempts at communication. Dartmouth College's Jilly Friedman discovered that 1/4 of the respondents said they had been ghosted in the past, while 1/5 said they had ghosted another individual. We have both a dramatic increase in the number of ways to find partners and a significant decrease in the risk of reputation damage as a result of poor behavioral patterns in your real-life social circle. Prior to online dating, you were much more likely to date someone from your same social circle, which meant that if you were a jerk, your friends would find out. The normalization of bad dating behavior, by giving it humorous, childlike, almost affectionate names like ghosting or submarining, only serves to enable users to dismiss what might otherwise be regarded as rude, hostile, or otherwise unacceptable behavior as just part of the experience, Dr. Denise Dunn says. Dunn discusses with Man Repeller's Katie Bishop how many dating apps' game-like interfaces are ideal for antisocial dating behavior. The design may contribute to the objectification of user profiles and, as a result, reported narcissistic behavior such as ghosting, breadcrumbing, benching, and general dishonesty, she writes. They don't have feelings to hurt if they're just characters in a game. 5. The upside of dating apps. Dating apps use our brain's reward feedback loops to make us feel lonely while lowering the social cost of objectification. Nonetheless, there are significant benefits to the evolution of dating apps. According to Forbes, dating app users are more likely to make varied and diverse connections. Josu Ortega of the University of Essex in the United Kingdom and Philip Hergovich of the University of Vienna in Austria argue that online dating leads to a more integrated society with more interracial relationships. According to Ortega, from a mathematical standpoint, online dating corresponds with significantly more interracial marriages and significantly stronger marriages. Not to mention that online dating is responsible for 30% of marriages and a staggering 70% of gay relationships. It has significantly increased exposure and opportunities for relationships for marginalized groups, particularly LGBTQ+ communities. Every opportunity, like most things in life, has both positive and negative aspects. The more you know about something and how it affects your life, the better you will be able to interact with it. If you enjoyed watching this video, please take a moment to share it with your family and friends. Stay safe and healthy. Thanks for watching.